Hello, Steve White, Steve White's 89. Star Wars, oh my god. It's getting really messy. There's a lot of rumours and a lot of things. There's the supposed civil war between Lucasfilm and, the Kathleen Kennedy camp and the Jon Favreau camp working on The Mandalorian. There's talk that they're going to remake or reboot or re-edit, repackage the sequel trilogy somehow. And of course, there's the High Republic. I think that's the name of it. Nobody cares. All of that. It's sort of. I'm trying to get my head around it all. Now, start off with Doomcock did a video about the rumours that the most interesting part of it all was that supposedly there was footage filmed in The Force Awakens of Luke, Han, and Leia, and it supposedly was a 10-minute scene on green screen that wasn't used, where it was going to be used as a flashback for a later film, or I don't know how it would exist, but the idea that it does exist and could be included in the films, the idea that they might sort of try and do a Snyder cut sort of version of the Star Wars sequel trilogy, by re-editing and then refilming certain parts, or maybe going back to the other scripts and taking elements of those that weren't included. There was talk that there was an alternative cut, that supposedly there was like the JJ cut, the KK cut, and the George Lucas cut, that he came in and filmed some scenes or rewrote something, and they didn't seem to be big, or the story was they weren't big or long scenes, but they really changed the dynamic of some of the scenes and some of the elements of the film. So there's been rumours for a while that there's alternate footage out there, and the idea that that could be used with new footage to actually repackage or reboot or re-edit, remake the sequel trilogy, because it's been so badly received by fans, is interesting. And then the other talk is that they're actually going to just remake the whole thing. There's been talk of them remaking the original trilogy, with younger actors remaking it, somehow making it better somehow. I don't know exactly how they think they're going to do that. But when you think about it, and the other idea is that they're going to redo the trilogy series as, the sequel trilogy as, like Disney Plus TV series or miniseries. And at first that sounds ridiculous, and then I started to think about it and I thought, what else are they going to do? The films have already been released. They can't just keep re-releasing them with different effects and things like that. But like, they've sort of done their dash with that. Cinema is in a precarious situation. We don't know if it's really going to come back and have the success that it was having. Like, even if a lot of cinemas survive and open up, will they have the numbers and the audience that's going to return to support blockbusters the size of The Force Awakens and the Star Wars trilogy? So that may not be an option either way, between fan issues with the fans and what they've done with the actual story, and then the actual status of the industry. So their best hope might just be Disney Plus. Now, they've got a whole bunch of proposed series, but most of them are things that people don't care about. Just random characters from movies that they're just going to try and build a whole series around. Some of them have backstories that were done in the extended universe and stuff like that. Others, they're just like, let's just do a series on this person. It's that on one level will work as content. A lot of people will watch it just for the sake of it, but it's not going to be, the sequel, the original series again, or the sequel. It's just the sequel trilogy. It's the idea that they would remake those, though, as a TV series or a mini-series. I can see that. Somehow I can see these executives thinking, how do we keep making money out of Star Wars? We have to keep, we have to remake it. And they could start from scratch and just go right through and redo, just remaking everything and making changes which they would either go incredibly woke, if they're going to go for that side of the audience, or they're going to go back to the old school, what Star Wars actually was, like Jon Favreau has tried to do with The Mandalorian, which is actually working, because apparently the mess with all that was that Luke Skywalker apparently wasn't planned, wasn't known to the Kathleen Kennedy camp, and they were all shocked by his explosion on the geek scene. And it was an explosion. Everyone was excited and energized by that, but that hasn't lasted, because I think people have kind of worked out it was just thrown in last minute to get the clicks and the views, and to crash these streaming services and that. And basically, it may not be a plan, it may not be part of a strategy, it may not be part of a bigger picture. And also the High Republic, all the drama with that. There was, and so some of this stuff is so petty. God, the actor, God, I met him. James Earl Jones, who did Darth Vader's voice. It was his birthday. They didn't do anything for it. And people were like, how can you ignore him? The whole issue with John Boyega, how his character was reduced from something that could have been really interesting to just tokenism at best. So there's just... And there's this other lady, I don't even want to talk about it, where she basically was being racist towards white people, which of course is okay. Apparently racism is only what white people do to other people. You can't be racist to white people, apparently, allegedly, supposedly. But she apparently was. And then they just gave her own show, and then when all the old stuff came up, people were just like, so she's black, that's okay, she can say that. And I'm like, you have a lot of white people in your audience, they might not like a black person that hates them. How is that going to work if that's the image? So the whole, God, they're trying to be woke, they're all about being diverse and politically correct, but then they allow someone to be racist, but then they deny that they actually can't exist. So there's all the internal politics, it's just a mess. And like the Civil War thing that's been going on for a while, the talk of that, and like I said, the idea that the Kathleen Kennedy camp didn't know the Mandalorian was going down the Luke path, and whether that is a real path, it's just, I just don't know what they're going to do with it. But I can see, and I guess the whole point of this was, I saw Doomclock's video and I thought, God, this is wish fulfillment. This is him just telling people what they want to hear. This is just him giving people what they want, so they'll click and keep coming back for more to hear about this great Star Wars revolution that's going to come, where they're going to fix, destroy, get rid of the sequel trilogy and create this new, version, blah, blah, blah. I thought, no, he's just trumping. He's just like telling them what they want to hear. Yes, we'll build the wall, we'll save everything, we'll save America from the evil Mexicans, by building a wall, and then they never built the wall. Is this, his wall? I was thinking like that, and I'm like, I can see the executives thinking the only way to make money and with Star Wars and keep making Star Wars and keep getting money out of it is to have it obviously on Disney Plus, but instead of just doing random series on any character that strolls through the movies, actually remaking the whole series and making it its own series again, and sort of give it another life on Disney Plus, not just in repeats of people watching the movies again, but actually redoing it. And if they can redo an alternative version, because the whole talk was that they were going to use the Veil Force, or what was it, the Force of the... I forgot what it is. You all know what I'm talking about. They were going to do that to basically have an alternative universe version of Star Wars and have it go in a slightly different direction, and that would be a way to redo the sequel trilogy, where it would sort of happen kind of like the JJ Star Trek films, where it would happen a lot closer than that, but it would happen, but it would be a bit different. So you could have this different version that would make the other fans happy. Now, how's that going to work? Because they kind of tried to do that in one way in The Rise of the Skywalker, where they tried to make both camps happy, and they didn't really make anyone happy. So they're going to have to take a stand. They're either going to keep going woke, or they're going to go old school And if they go old school, they might get some of the old fans back. But what I'm hearing and what I'm seeing from a lot of the YouTubers and a lot of other people is they're done. They have been broken. They just can't care anymore. You can't get them back. You've insulted them. You've destroyed their heroes. It may be too late. So I don't know what's happening, but I'm finding it all really interesting. I was watching some YouTube videos and just listening to people's things and just some of the talk. And then I just sort of was like, you know what, I can actually see Disney doing some of this. I don't know if Doomcock is just making stuff up, or if people are telling him what they want to hear, or if there are actually rumblings that he's actually heard about. But I can see those rumblings actually happening. It makes sense that they would. But I guess that's the best sort of rumor and conspiracy and propaganda, is if people can believe it and if they want it, and if it makes them feel good or better or excited, then they're going to believe it. So am I just being sucked in again? I don't know. But yeah, felt like it was worth a video. I'm not sure I've managed to convey a coherent something. But yeah, I just was thinking about it and I'm like, this is kind of all interesting and it's all over the place and I just want to talk about it, and I can't do three different like videos and the research, because you can't research rumors, you can't research gossip, and there are a lot of people who aren't giving Doomcock credit for the sources coming from him, but whether they're actually reliable, it's just a big huge mess, and I can't believe it's 11 minutes and I'm still talking. But I'm going to go. Feel free to share, like, comment, subscribe. Let me know what you think. What do you think is going to happen? Like, are they just going to, like, just keep making series on just random people and assuming people are just going to watch anything Star Wars? Or are they actually going to try and go back to the pot and remake, you know, the Skywalker story with Luke and everything? I don't know. I'm going to go.